everybody, this is Heather Sides. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Spokane, Washington. I come to you every Wednesday night at 6 p.m. Pacific time to show you 3 cards or projects or a combination thereof that I've made and how I made them. For those of you who are here for the first time, welcome. I'm excited to share this space with you, and I hope you enjoy what you see. Those of you who are returning, thank you so much for returning. It's fun to see familiar faces here. If you are here, make sure to say hello. Let me know. Even if all you do is say hi from Timbuktu. Be sure to let me know because I love to hear where everybody's from. In addition, I do a drawing for everybody who participates in conversation. Whether you are asking me a question, just saying hello, or conversing with the other people who are also watching here live, I make note of everybody who commented, and then the following week I give out a prize. I do a random drawing and give out a prize to everybody who participated. This is not limited to people who are watching the live. If you're watching this later on a replay on Facebook, or if you're watching it on one of the uploads to YouTube, still comment. Make your comments, ask your questions, because I do include you in the drawing as well. So like I said, I love participation. It helps just feed me. I just really enjoy it so much. So I'm glad to have you here. Give me just a minute while while everybody gets on, and I'm going to make sure I have everything going up on my screen so that I can see your comments. I'm having a little bit of technical difficulties today. I got a new computer at work, which is what I use at home, and there's just some new stuff about it, and I'm not able to hook up my big monitors, my extra monitors, so your comments are going to be a lot smaller and therefore a little more difficult on my old eyes to see. So bear with me, but I'm going to still try to keep following, make sure that I see all your comments and reply back to you. I see Susan's here and Kathy's here, Anne's here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I'm so glad to see you guys. Let's see, while we're giving people a couple minutes to get on, see if I have anything new to tell you that's happened this week. As you know, I had the heart monitor last week, and I had it for 2 weeks. That is done. I got to take it off on Monday. It was really uneventful. I never even got to push the little button saying that I felt weird. Sent it back on Monday, and then at the end of the month, I've got a follow-up appointment where we'll talk about the results, which I imagine is going to be pretty uneventful. And then we'll be able to reschedule my shoulder surgery. So there was that. Lucy is continuing to drive everybody crazy, which is, what puppies do. She is 100% puppy. And she has made it her personal mission to be the best at that as she can possibly be. We cannot leave her alone anywhere near a roll of toilet paper or paper towels because she immediately thinks that they are there for her to turn into party confetti or party streamers, and she has a great time. I've come out of the shower several times to look like a blizzard has taken place in my bathroom. So yeah, we're learning. You know how it is. Puppy training is really more a matter of puppy owner training than it is puppy training, and I knew that going into it. I jokingly complain about it, but I knew that, and I still, would not be without my girl. So I do have a few housekeeping things to tell you about this week. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to turn my camera around, tell you about what's going on in the Stampin' Up! World right now, and then we'll get going on our cards. I am so excited, you guys, about what I have for you this week because I'm doing something a little bit different. Instead of 3 cards, I have a card, and then I have a gift set that includes cards that go in the set to give somebody. It includes a gift box, and then it also includes a card for the recipient of the gift. So I'm kind of excited to share that with you too. So let's get this show on the road. Hang on just a moment. Okay, let's see. Got the camera all turned around here. Oop, I might have stood up a little too fast and given myself a bit of a head rush there. Anybody else do that? I do that all the time. Okay, so I'll put on my glasses because I want to make sure I can see your comments. Oh, you know, it'd be easier if they were clean, right? I'm so bad about cleaning my glasses. Anyone else? So I'm going to clean them really quick because I want to be able to see your comments. I want to be able to see through the lenses of these glasses. So has anybody, while I'm doing this, has anybody taken advantage of the weekly Stampin' Up! Specials yet? That's something I'm going to talk about here in just a minute, the weekly specials. But has anybody taken advantage of them yet? I have some information for you about the new ones coming out this week, so I'm kind of excited about that. Stampin' Up! Has a lot of really good specials coming at you right now, so this is a great time to do a little bit of shopping. And you know, it's right around that time where it's time to start thinking about your Christmas cards or your holiday cards, and so to be able to get your supplies for sale prices and discounts is always nice, isn't it? Okay, so the first thing, I talked about this before, talked about it last week, but I want to remind you, through the month of September, hey Mary, welcome. Through the month of September, we have our Perfect Partners promotion. And what this is we have 6 stamp sets that were already in our annual catalog, but they did not have coordinating dies. So for the month of September, Stampin' Up! Has brought out dies that coordinate with those stamp sets. There's Apple Blossoms, Fresh Cut Stems, This Birthday Piggy, Trimming the Tree, Waterfall, and Yeti. Or Yeti to Party is what the bundle is called. So if any of those sets are sets that you are interested in, now is a great time to get them because you can get those coordinating dies. Stampin' Up! Has not indicated that they will be in any future catalogs. Now, they haven't said that they won't, but they haven't said that they will either. So I don't recommend waiting thinking, well, maybe they'll be in the next catalog because we really don't know. So there's this special going on. Then, of course, we have the weekly deals that I just mentioned. And there are a lot of things. It looks like what Stampin' Up! Is doing is each week, the week going out and the week coming in kind of overlap a little bit. And so I know this is really small and you can't necessarily read everything on it, but just look how many things are on sale this week during this overlap period. And there's some great prices. So I'm just going to read through quickly what products there are here. You can always go to my website, heathersides.stampinup.net, and you can, there'll be a place to click on a link to take you to the specials where you can see these items. You can order these items, and you know, get a better look at them if there's something that you need to look at. But there's the pearlized enamel effects basics. There's silver metallic edge ribbon, the texture chic memories and more. You know I love the texture chic DSP. Rose gold and white ribbon, texture chic memories and more cards with envelopes. There's the rose gold specialty paper, trinkets, adhesive backed flowers. Then there's the Stampin' Up! Masking paper, which I haven't used a lot yet, but I've seen other demonstrators do some fun stuff. So I need to put something together to show you guys. Lovely Layers Vellum, perfectly penciled, 12 by 12 DSP, soft succulent ribbon. It's a satin ribbon. I've used this before and it is gorgeous. Slimline envelopes, 12 by 12 vellum with designs on it, faux sea glass shapes, white frayed ribbon, the Eden dies that goes with the, Ever Eden maybe is the name of the stamp set. I can't remember right offhand. Snowy white velvet sheets. This would be gorgeous for some winter cards. Can't you just picture it? Snow background. Real Red Mini Ruffled Ribbon. We came out with this last year and it was a lot of fun to work with. Our soft pastels are on sale. I haven't done a lot with the pastels either. That's probably something that I should look into doing for you guys. The scalloped craft treat boxes, and then the evening evergreen open weave ribbon and the fresh freesia open weave ribbon. Easy to say, right? So lots on sale there on our weekly special to take advantage of. And then finally, here's the big one, you guys. Tomorrow only, ending at midnight Mountain Time. Every stamp set in the annual catalog is on sale. 15% off. So remember, these stamp sets here on the Perfect Partners, where I said in the catalog, the stamps are available, but there's not a coordinating set of dies. You can get them on sale now. So anyway, there's that. But every stamp set, doesn't matter if they're the red rubber cling stamps or if they are the photopolymer, they're all on sale, 15% off, but tomorrow only. So, you know, with all these great specials, tomorrow's a great time to do some shopping. And I would love to earn your business. So if you have some shopping to do, if you want to go to my website, heathersides.stampinup.net, I would really appreciate the business. And thank you very much in advance if you do that. Okay, so before we get going, let's go ahead and do our drawing this week. As I mentioned at the beginning of the video, every week I take a look at everyone who commented on the prior week's video, and I do a drawing to give away a prize. I am looking, and my camera is crooked, and that is like really bugging me, to tell you the truth. So I need to adjust it, or it's just going to drive me crazy. Okay, that looks a little better. Okay, so anyway, this week I am giving away some of our metallic woven ribbon. This is new in this year's annual catalog. It's available in all 5 of our new in colors. This is, well, I don't know. I think it's more of a pink than Sweet Sorbet. But anyway, nice. It's sparkly. It's really thin. It's like 1/8 of an inch wide. So it's easy to work with. It's soft. And this week's winner is Judy Bell. So congratulations, Judy. I don't have your mailing address. So if you would please contact me either at stamphappenings@gmail.com, or you can send me a message here on Facebook. Then give me your address, your mailing address, and I will get this ribbon in the mail to you. You know, I'm finding I wasn't showing up real well on the catalog, so I'm going to turn this right now. Hey, Talina, welcome. I just want to turn this so you can see it, just in case you couldn't see it earlier when I was showing it. See how sparkly it is? It's just gorgeous. So anyway, congratulations, Judy. And let's see here. Just want to catch up on any comments before we get going, because we've got some fun in store tonight. Okay. Take a big drink here. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to ease into this with our standalone card. And then after this, we'll work on our big project, okay? So the card we got going is this one. This one's a little busier than what I normally like. It's kind of funny. When I first made it, I kept looking at it and thinking, it's just too busy. It's just too busy. But the longer it sat there, the more I started to kind of like it. So, you know, sometimes when you make a card and if you're not really happy with it, especially if you don't hate it, but you're just not quite there, walk away from it. Just walk away. Come back later, because it might grow on you sometimes, especially if it is different from your normal style. It may take a little while for you to get used to it. I mean, that's not a great way to say it, but, you know, for it to really settle in with you. Hey, Kathy, welcome. Oh, so anyway, so this is our card. Let's go ahead and get started. For this, I used the Hues of Happiness Designer Series paper. And then I used a lot, hang on here. I used a lot of different stamps and dies for this. And the thing I want to point out is, even though I used a lot of different ones here, my point to you is that you should be able to take whatever you have and put things together. So I show you great ideas with the things that I have. And of course, I love it when you go to my site and you buy those things and you want to make what I made. But remember, you can always, we call it casing. Some people call it, let's see, copy and selectively edit. I've heard it as copy and steal everything, copy and share everything. But my point again is, take my ideas and sometimes you can play with what you have. You don't necessarily have to do it exactly like I did. So don't be frustrated if you like something I did, but you don't have the products. Change it up a little and you can do it with what you have. So anyway, I used the Amazing Frames dies. I love these dies and I just really don't use them often enough. I also use the seasonal labels. You know, I use these all the time. Hey, Teresa, welcome. I used the Pansy Patch stamps. Really, I only used it because I wanted this stamp here. The little things you do make such a big difference. So that's the stamp I used out of this set. And then out of the Hello Ladybug set, which is an adorable set, by the way. It comes as a bundle and you can get a punch to punch out the ladybug, the body and the wings. We're using the Daisy Flower. Hey, Robin, welcome, welcome. Okay, so let's go ahead and get started. Get going on our envelope. You know I like my decorated envelopes. Okay, put a little bit of glue on here. So what's everybody got going on? Is anybody doing anything exciting this week? I don't really have a lot going on this week. I've mentioned before, I'm an accountant, and at my work, the first 2 weeks of every month, we are doing the month-end stuff from the month before. And so right now we're getting down to the wire, needing to finish our month-end for August. So it's kind of a crazy time for me at work. So as far as what I have going on, typically during this 2 weeks, I don't have a whole lot going on outside of work. Trying to line this up. My fingers, I have some glue on my fingers now, so my fingers are sticky. This is just, normally, you know, this is a lot easier than it normally is, but today I'm going to make it difficult. Okay, let's see. I don't like how that's happening. Oh, Robin, happy birthday a few days early. You're going to be 21? A 1920s wedding. That would be so cool. The Great Gatsby is my favorite book of all time, so I would love something like that. That, and I'm totally into the mafia. So, you know, the 1920s to the 40s are kind of their big heyday too. I know that's weird, especially for a woman probably, but yeah, I love the mafia. I would have been a good mob boss, I think. Okay, so let's see, get this trimmed here. There we go. So for those of you who are just joining us for the first time, the strip I put on here was 2.5 inches wide by 6 inches long, and then I just glue it down and cut off the extra. And I try to use, you know, just something that coordinates with the card we're making. All right, so now what I've done here, I want to point out, sometimes you put together colors that you wouldn't necessarily think to put together, okay? So the card base that I'm using, this is our Daffodil Delight. It's a half a sheet, 8.5 by 5.5, scored in the middle at 4 1/4. You guys know the song. And let's see here, okay. Now, this piece that's right in the center, you would think that I would go ahead and use a piece of Daffodil Delight because it would match the card. But you know what? When I used Daffodil Delight on there, to me, it was too bright. It was too much. So 54 is the new 21, Robin says. Awesome. Awesome. I love it. But I'm actually using So Saffron. And when you put them together, it kind of looks weird. But when you've got that really busy designer series paper between them, I found that they looked a lot closer to the same color. Plus, I used the So Saffron ink to do the daisies on here, which come across as darker on that paper. So it brought those two colors closer together. So I just pointed that out because, like I said, sometimes you'll make the card, and in this case, I initially used the same color, and it was just too bright for me. So let's go ahead and get started. We'll do the inside of the card first. I've got a piece here of basic white. Okay, let's see, where do I go from here? Okay, so I've got my stamp, and this one says the little things you do make such a big difference. And I'm going to stamp that with Night of Navy. I often like to stamp my sentiments with a darker color. I think they show up a little bit better. Well, obviously they show up better because they're darker, but and I like to put them in different places than what you would expect. Like usually it's right smack dab in the middle, right? But for this one, I think I'm going to put it down here. Oh, and it's crooked. Well, you know what? That's why God made paper to have two sides. Okay. And now it's crooked the other way. Oh, well, it's not as bad this way, though. Okay. Next, I have these little lines because, you know, when you cut your paper, it makes like these little lips on the side of the underside of the paper. Since I flipped mine over, I wanted to flatten those back down. Then I have this little strip that I cut off of our designer series paper. It is 7/8 of an inch, I think. 7/8 of an inch by 3 7/8. So we're going to put it right on the side there like that. Okay. And then line it up. Whoop. Just flinging stuff all around. Okay. Whoops. I do like to use the liquid glue here because then it allows me a little wiggle room where I can kind of scoot the paper around if it's not lined up exactly the way I want it. I have just a couple moments to do that while it's still wet before it gets too tacky. Let's go ahead and stick this to the inside of our card now. Yeah, flippy flapper flinger, that's me. I'm a flippy flappy flinger. Okay, so line this up so that all your margins are relatively the same, and mine are not. There we go. And the inside of our card is done. Easy peasy. And actually, this whole card is pretty easy peasy. So now I have these two pieces. I want to show you a secret. So we have our little die cuts for the word thanks, right? What I did for this piece of pink, the pink thanks that goes with this pink matte background, I cut the thanks right out of that because it's going to be covered up. It doesn't matter anyway. So I might as well not waste extra cardstock, right? So let's go ahead and put these guys together. Okay. I really like this paper. I think it's cute and kind of springy and fun. And I know it's not spring, but it's just, I really like it. It just makes me happy. But there is a lot to it. It is kind of busy, so you have to be sort of careful with what you do with it. And I'm just going to mount it here on the front of my card again, trying to make sure that my margins are relatively the same everywhere. Oh, good, Anne. I'm glad you liked that tip. Now I have my little tag that I cut out of the seasonal labels tags. And I'm going to take the Daisy from the Hello Ladybug set, and I'm going to take my So Saffron ink. You can also use Versamark ink if you don't have the, like in this case, So Saffron cardstock and ink. Say that you have the So Saffron cardstock, but you don't have the ink, you can use your Versamark to do the same thing. It's just slightly lighter, but Versamark is a watermark ink. That's what it's intended for. And so it gives you color, it gives you the same tone on tone effect. So I'm just stamping my little flowers all over here. There. Just random. My life story, right? Just random. Put my ink pad away. And then what I'm going to do is I have my two little dies here. I have the thanks that I cut out with the pink, get the little dams out of there. And then I have the background that I did with the navy, the Night of Navy. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put just a little bit of glue on the back of my Melon Mambo is actually the color I used here. I was just saying pink, but I guess I should let you know the actual color. So a little bit of glue here. Versamark is very, very useful, Teresa. It really does have a lot of different applications. Its primary function is to be a watermark ink, like I just described, but boy, it does a lot of stuff due to the fact that it's so sticky. Okay, now, as you're laying this down, let me give you a little tip. If you just lay it down flat, it doesn't always line up quite right. So what I do is I start at one end, like here with the S, and I get it where I want it. And then I just do it one letter at a time. See how I'm just slowly working my way over? Because see, if I go like that, the T isn't lined up quite right. It wants to lay funny. So I just, like I said, do it one letter at a time. It takes an extra moment or two, but you know, that's a moment's not going to kill anybody. And there you go. Now let's go ahead and glue it down onto our card. Little bit of glue, little goes a long way with this liquid Tombow glue. And I think, yeah, I did. I put this on at an angle, like so. Then I do like to use my foam adhesive sheets, but you could use just dimensionals if that's what you have on hand. Let's see. And get a piece that looks like it's about right, like that. Put it on the back here. Put these in my little baggie where I keep everything. Now we're going to go ahead and mount this onto the front of the card. My thanks is crooked, so I'm going to make the label or the tag straight, or you know, as straight as I can, like that. And then let's just punch it with a little bit more color by adding the glossy dots. Whoops. Get my take your pick tool. You know, this is my favorite tool. Let's see here. Well, hello, Jennifer. Thanks for joining us. Welcome. Let's see, what do we think? You know what? This one might need to move a little. I don't know. I'm not sure. Well, I'm going to put it there and call it good. What do you think? Jennifer, you're so funny. She says she comes to watch and then gets distracted scrolling. I know. I hear you. I have the same condition. Okay, so there is card number 1. Pretty easy, huh? So we've got, there's the front, there's our inside, and it was quick and easy to do. And you can never have too many thank you cards on hand, right? Now, speaking of thank you cards, I'm going to show you our next project. Hey, Nell, welcome. Okay, I'm so excited about this, you guys. Here's what I created. I've got this great little gift box. And you can take the ribbon off this way, you can untie it, whatever. We sell these gift boxes, by the way. I have a little bit of tissue paper. Couldn't remember what that was called, so moving my hands like that helped. Now here I only show you 3 cards, but the way this set is going to work, in the end you have 5 cards to give as a gift, and then you have 1 card, a 6th card, that is actually the card that goes with the gift that you give to your recipient. And in this case, it'll be a birthday card. So we're going to make these cards. What I did here, another demonstrator did something similar to this, and I wish I had written down who it was so I could give them the proper credit. It might have been Wendy Cranford, I think, maybe. Okay, yes, I really love this stamp set, Jennifer. I bought it because my daughter loves sunflowers, and I've used it quite a bit. So, as you're going to see, as we make these cards, I kind of mix and match pieces from one card to the next card, so it goes really, really fast. So, let's go ahead and get going. I'm going to put these where I can see them so that I remember and do it correctly. Get all my pieces here. So, to show you what we're using, I'm using the Celebrate Sunflowers stamps along with the coordinating dies, sunflower dies. I'm also using the Stylish Shapes and all my little pieces here. So, I am going to need my my cutting and embossing machine, but I think I can get away with the little one this week, so let me grab it. Okay, I've got it set aside here. First thing we're gonna do, oh, and by the way, for this, hello Carmen, welcome. I used our note cards for this instead of cutting card bases. You can buy our note cards. They're such a good deal. It's like $7 and you get 20 note cards and 20 envelopes. It makes making cards quick and easy, and it's always nice to have them on hand. Even if you typically make the cards yourself, the card bases and all of that, which is what I typically do, it is nice to have them on hand when you're in a hurry, or if you choose to do like a gift set like what we're doing tonight. Then I took 1 sheet. Hey, Sharon, welcome. I took 1 sheet of the Designer Series paper that goes with our color families. And this particular one is Mango Melody. And the pieces aren't fitting together, and that's bothering me. There we go. I think it goes like this. Yes. You can see it was 1 piece at one time, and I just cut them 2-inch strips. So this only took 1 piece of the Mango Melody Designer Series paper to do 3 cards. Now what we're doing tonight, I'm making 3 cards. You're going to want to make a total of 6. So of course what I do tonight, you're going to double. Okay. So let's start with our envelopes. And somehow here I ended up with 4 envelopes. Put 1 away. This is the same thing that you do on your regular bigger envelopes. By the way, these ones are 3.5 by 5 inches, and they are an appropriate size for the post office, USPS, to deliver, so they're not too small. But I'm doing the same thing that I like to do on the big ones. Get it all lined up. I'm just going to do each one here, and then I'll cut off all the extra all at once. And that's kind of the way this little gift set works, is you're going to be sort of assembly lining everything. So put this one on now. Thanks, Mary. Mary says, great cards. Okay. It was really funny. I was at my mom's house last weekend. Every Sunday I go to my parents' house and we have a movie day, and my dad buys us lunch and we watch a movie of some sort. And last week I had made all these cards on Saturday, come up with this idea on Saturday. And my mom says to me on Sunday, she goes, you know what I think you should do? What I think would be a great idea? I said, what's that? And she goes, well, if you made like a set of thank you cards and then, make a few and then put them together as a set with a card, like a birthday card, and give them to somebody as a gift. And I just totally had to laugh because that's exactly what I had just done the day before. So, okay. So now we're going to trim off the extra here. Whoop. I'm kind of nervous. Lucy's being really, really quiet. And that often spells trouble. But last time I went and checked on her when she was being quiet, she was just sitting in the window spying on the neighbors. So they're not really doing anything. Actually, one of the houses across the street, the lady who was living there passed away. There were two ladies living there. It was like a woman and her sister or something like that. And one of them passed away. So the other one was going to move into like a retirement home or something like that. Well, the daughter of one of the ladies, I believe the one who passed away, was the one who actually owned the house. So she sold it, and the people who purchased it, and the house wasn't in fabulous shape, because it was being maintained, I think, by a couple of older ladies. And so the family or the people that bought it came in and absolutely gutted it. And I don't know what the condition really was on the inside. And I don't know what it looks like right now, but I do know how many big dump trucks full of stuff I saw coming out of that house. And so they've really been doing some work to fix it up, and new appliances and new everything. So it's been kind of fun to watch. So Lucy's enjoyed sitting by the window watching them. Okay, so we've got our 3 envelopes here, right? Keep in mind, we already have 3 more because I made them already. So we have a total of 6, right? Okay, so these are going to go in our little gift set. Now, we'll take our cards, the little card bases that come in your little set of note cards that you buy. So I'm going to go ahead and use my bone folder. They come pre-scored, but I do still like to go over them with my bone folder just to make sure that crease is nice and straight, because sometimes it's a little bit off. And so I do prefer to do this. Okay, now what I'm going to do is I have, for these 3 cards, okay, I have to show you this, you guys. This is amazing. 3 cards. All of the pieces for these 3 cards are right here. That's it. All 3 pieces. Okay, so here's what we're going to do. First, we're going to take this piece right here. It's just a piece of basic white. And we're going to move our card bases out of the way for just a moment. And I'm going to get my embossing machine, my cutting and embossing machine. This is the mini. And I'm going to get a circle out of the Stylish Shapes. I really like, one of the things I like about the Stylish Shapes is you can see all these little dots. What they do is they create a stitched effect when you cut out the piece. Both the piece you cut out and the piece that remains have that stitched look. And I'll show you up close after I've done it. Let me make sure I grab the right size. There we go. Okay. So now I'm going to put it right about, I want it to be centered left to right, and you know, just a little bit from the top here, about like that. And you can use Post-it tape if you want to hold it in place. Typically, big ones like this, like just circles, stay in place pretty well, so I'm not worried about this one. Feed it through. Sorry about the jiggling. Okay, now, see, these are the stitch marks I'm talking about. You can kind of see it on the camera. See how it's around the outer edge of the circle, and then it's around the outer edge of the negative space as well. Yeah, I don't know if you can see it. I'm too close to the camera and then it gets all fuzzy. But anyway, it's there, trust me. Okay, now let me put my circle away so I don't lose it. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna take one of these card bases. And I'm gonna take, you can use your masking paper that we sell. You can take your Post-it tape, you know, whatever works for you. And what I'm doing is I'm just kind of putting it around the edges here. And I'm going to show you why in just a minute. So I'm just kind of going around the edge. Like so. And you don't have to do this if you're better at the next step than I am. I am not. So I go like this. And the reason is because I'm going to lay this down on here. Let's see here. Make sure I can still see my card so that I've got it centered where I want it. I'm shedding and there's hair everywhere. Okay, this piece is going to be centered on my front panel just like this, okay? And I do want to make sure it stays in place. So I'm going to add just a little more of the tape. This part you probably will want to do because you want to make sure that it doesn't move all around on you. Put it back, trying to make sure it's straight. And I'm probably using way more than I need to right now, but you know, life goes on. Then I'm going to take, if I can find it, I've got my Mango Melody ink, and I have one of my blending brushes. You know, you don't need a blending brush for every single color. Oh, thank you, Jennifer. You don't need a blending brush for every single color, but you do kind of want to have like one for similar colors. Like I try to have like my blues on one, my greens on one, my yellows on one. And then you don't have to wash it all the time. So I'm inking it up, right? Get the first little bit off of there. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over this. Now you see the tape that I put around the edge here is so that when I go over the edge of my paper, I'm not getting it all over the card below. Now I want that inside piece to be pretty dark. So I'm just going to go over it a little bit more. Maybe one more pass and then we'll call it good. Okay. Now, actually I'll leave my ink pad out because we're going to use it here in a minute. Let's get all these little pieces of the tape off, and you can reuse the tape. So even though I was using a lot, it won't totally go to waste because I'll use it again another time. And see how there we created, now we've created this piece for this card, and we have created this piece for this card. Now I'm going to set these aside for the moment, and now we're going to do this circle. And I'm just going around the edge because I did want the center to still be either white or at least lighter than the outside edge. Now here I want to get some of that extra yellow off. And the reason I want to do that is because I would like to come in the center here and kind of blend that in just a little bit more without adding too much color. There we go. Okay. Now I'm going to take my three card fronts. Okay. And the first one I'm going to do is, actually what I'm going to do now on all three of them is I have the thanks a bunch message. Now remember, you would be making 6 cards. So on 5 of them, you're going to stamp thanks a bunch, okay? Because I've already made 3, I'm only going to stamp it on 2, and I'm going to stamp happy birthday on 1 of them. So these are the pieces I actually want to stamp on. So get my ink out, and for this I'm using my Early Espresso ink. And I'm just putting it right here, just trying to make sure you're straight. There we go. Then I'm going to stamp it directly on the card for this one, right about here. And then for the other card, I actually have a strip, and I'm going to stamp the birthday message on that one. I hope that's long enough for the birthday message. Let's see here. Clean off my stamp really quick. Okay. I only had 1 block for that, so that size. So I just need to switch my stamps really quick. Ooh, the birthday message is longer. It is longer, darn it. But I can cut another one really quick. I should have stamped it on this one, and I was gonna, and then I wasn't thinking. Okay. Let's see here. Can I do that? Yeah, it's going to be cutting it close. So hang on. I'm just going to recut this. So it's, right now it is 3 inches. Let's make it 3 1/4 by 3/4. Be right back. Okay. Oh, that's a great question, Robin. Are there any stamps that I recommend for the sale? You know, I don't have any in particular that I'm recommending. What I recommend you do is go through and find the ones. What are the ones that you've been saying, I'm going to get this, I'm going to get it, I'm going to get it, and you keep putting it off? Those are the ones to get, because now you can justify it. They're on sale. And by the way, if you are a demonstrator and you get 20 or 25% off as a demonstrator, you get another 15% off with the discount deal tomorrow. So pretty good deal there. Okay. Oh, look at that. It's even straight. I'm very excited. Okay. Get my stamp all clean. Okay. Put my ink away because you know me. I'll lay down in it. Okay. So this one's going to go here. This is going to go here. And this is going to go here, like this. So see how those pieces all kind of come together to make our cards? So let's go ahead and make this one first. And for this, I used the die that cuts out this pretty little sunflower. And it also has the little centerpiece. It goes in the center of your flower. So let's go ahead and stick that down. Now you can use our adhesive backed paper on the back of that. You put it on before you cut out your die. That works really well. I did not do that. There's a few different ways you could do this. You could, I'll show you one. You can just put like a little bit of glue. What I did when I made this is I just put a little glue right around the center. That way these pieces came up, the outer edges of the flower came up. Another thing you can do is use your silicone mat. You can put a little bit of your liquid glue on there and use a sponge dauber to daub the back of your die, and then the whole thing sticks down. But I did like the edges of my flower kind of poking up a little bit. So I'm just going to put a little bit of glue here, right in the center of my flower. And I just put it right over this little guy, just like that. And then I have my little center piece. And for that, I took a dimensional just put it right on the back. Did I just put it on the front? I just put my dimensional on the front. Okay, put it on the back. The dimensional is way more effective on the back. Stuck it right there. Now, whoops, now we got to stick this one down. I'm going to use dimensionals there too. This piece is has kind of gone rogue. Okay. Okay, peel the backs off. And I'm going to just line this up right kind of halfway between the bottom of my flower and the bottom of the card. Try to make sure it's straight. Okay, card number 1 is done. You could put something on the inside if you wanted. I don't always, with gift sets. Okay, it was a little off center and that was going to keep me up tonight, so I need to fix it. You know how I am, you guys. I can't handle it. Okay, let's try this again. My flower's sticking up a little bit. But if I wanted, I could put a message in there or something, because remember, this is going to be the birthday card. Now we've got this one, and we have this one. So we have a little extra stamping we need to do for those. For those, I have, oops, hang on. Okay, so I just have a scrap of basic white, and I am going to, I have pieces everywhere for this because I just started kind of flinging stuff around. Okay, so I've got that sunflower that I want to use. And I'm going to use my Memento ink. I'm going to stamp 2 of them, 1 for each card. We'll do 1 right there. Remember, Memento ink is the one that you want to use for when you're going to use your Stampin' Blends. You know, that one I don't like. Yeah, it's okay. All right. With your Stampin' Blends, because they're both alcohol based, so they work well together and it won't get as fuzzy as if you were to use your StazOn. Then I have a few markers here, my Stampin' Blends. So the first thing I'm going to do is the center of these flowers, okay? So I took my brush tip, but this is still pretty quick, and I'm just going around the centers. Okay, that's the one I didn't like, and it was the first one I colored. What a goober. Oh, well. Okay. So I'm going around the edge here. Just like that. Now I'm going to take, and this, by the way, was the number 300 from our Naturals assortment of the Stampin' Blends. It's natural colors that are designed to be all sorts of skin tones, but there's so many other uses as well. So now I'm going to color this in with the number 500. Now I just colored that in, but now I'm just going along that edge where the darker one ends and the lighter one starts, just to kind of pull that dark out a little bit so they blend together a little bit better. Okay. And then I'm going to take, this is dark old olive, and I'm not fully coloring these in. I'm just adding a little bit of green here, because, you know, I'm making this set for somebody. I want to do it quick and easy. Now I'm going to take my dark Daffodil Delight, and I'm just kind of getting each petal, but I'm not filling it in completely, and I'm just kind of throwing a little color on there, you see? Just like so. So it goes pretty quick, and you still end up with a good amount of color. In my opinion, doing it like this, you end up with kind of a little bit of a rustic look, I guess, which I like. Okay. And if you go out of the lines just a little bit, that's okay too. Now I need to cut this because I have to trim it down so it'll fit in the mini trimmer. And I might as well go like this, cut these apart. Okay, let's cut these out really quick. Now these ones, I definitely want to tape them down because you can see the outer edge of the die is so detailed, and I want it to be lined up perfectly. So I'm going to use my tape from earlier, get it all lined up right where I want it, fiddle with it, fuss with it, take as long as you need to fuss with it, and then lay your tape down and your other plate, feed it through. Sorry about the wiggles. Peel off my tape. And there is my first sunflower. Let's get that second one going. Let's find that second one. Here it is. Okay. Again, take your time, line it up so that it's right where you want it. Then use your tape to tape it down. Okay, now we have our second one. Okay, now we're ready to put the rest of these cards together. So for this one, we're going to put some dimensionals on the back. And you know what might actually work better for this piece here? I'll show you. Okay, so first we're going to put these down. I kind of go to excess with my dimensionals because I don't like my card to get saggy. Okay, so now you take the edges, because you know the edges of your dimensionals, that's foam adhesive too. So what I'm going to do is this piece too long? This piece will work. So I've got one piece, I'm going to put it right here. Then I have another edge. I want to put some along the top there as well. And I think I want to put a little bit right there too. Okay. There. Now peel all the backings off. That is the one downside to using so many dimensionals as I do, is sometimes it takes a little while to get all those backs off. That wasn't too bad. Okay. Okay, so now I'm going to line this up right here. Kind of try to center it on my card, just like so. Kind of feel like I should have put a dimensional right there. Oh well, we'll survive. I will survive this experience. Get all this out of the way because I won't survive that being everywhere. And now I'm going to take one of these and I'm just going to put it right in the center of that little circle. Okay, so got this one. Oops. There we go. And now card number 2 is done. Get rid of those little dimensional backs. And now we'll do the third one. We're just going to go ahead and stick this directly down on the card. You can use your liquid glue, you can use your seal, just whatever you have on hand. And just plunk it right down there, try to get it centered. Again, with your liquid glue, it allows you to wiggle it a little bit if you need to move it around. Thanks, Robin. Now I'm going to take this one and we're going to put it off to the side here. Now, one thing that I do like to do is I'm going to put some little dimensionals behind the leaves because they are raised up a little bit because there's another piece of cardstock underneath it, right? And so I just get a little bit of, I'll use the mini ones here for this. Let's get this piece going. My Take Your Pick tool works really well with the minis. And I'm just going to put it under the leaves, right there, just like that. If you don't have any of the mini dimensionals, you need them. You're welcome. Because, you know, I held off for a while getting them. And when I finally got them, boy, I use them all the time. They're so handy to have, and you don't have to cut big ones anymore to, you know, make them smaller, whatever. So it's just kind of nice. Okay, now let's line this up just like so. Yeah, it looks like maybe I need to put one under the flower too. I didn't on my original one, but it kind of feels like it needs it there. So let's just put one in there. Again, I'm going to use my Take Your Pick tool because I'll show you. I can sneak it under there just like that. There. Ta-da! And card number 3 is done. So you saw how long it took me to make 3. Do that twice, then you have 6. You have your set of 5 to give in your gift set, and you have a happy birthday one to give to your gift recipient, right? So let me put some pieces away because now we're going to work on the gift box. Got all my little cards. I want to put like cards together. Let's see here. Okay, there we go. There we go. And we have all of our envelopes. We have 6 envelopes because, you know, I had 3 and then we made 3, right? So for now, I'm just going to set all this aside because we got to make our box. These are the boxes that we sell. They're very cool because, well, thank you, Jennifer. They have a nice little window so you can see inside if you want to do that. They are, I'm trying to remember if they are food safe. I want to say they are. It probably says in our catalog though. But these little boxes are so fun. They're easy to do, and I'm going to show you how. A little thing that I do want to share with you is this acetate piece right here actually has, on the back side, has one of those little film covers on it to keep it from getting all yucky. So you can peel that off. Then what we're going to do is I put mine up to the window, and I took just, you know, a little piece of computer paper, printing paper over it, you know, like when you were a kid and you would trace. That's what I did so that I got this piece that I could put in here like this. And I'm going to show you why. Because now what we're going to do is we're going to stamp this big sunflower. Let me move some of my stuff out of the way here. We're going to stamp the big sunflower again using my Memento ink. Yes, Robin says they are food safe. Thank you. Okay, so I'm going to ink up my stamp. I find that with the bigger stamps, it's easier to lay the stamp down and put the ink pad on the stamp rather than putting the stamp on the ink pad. And I'm just going to stamp all over my box. This can kind of take a minute since you got to ink it up every time. Ah, shoot! Darn it. That's okay. That's okay. I've got other boxes. I'll figure something out with that one though. I'll figure something out. Okay, so put my little thing back in there. This time I'm going to hold on to my stamp. Selena says she loves these boxes. She bought more on sale. Yes, because they were on sale last week. Okay, let's try this again. Okay, now I'm just going to go all over the box. That one was a little lighter than I would have liked, but that's okay. See, I'm getting kind of lazy here, and I'm not being good about making sure that I really press down on my stamp. So don't do that. Don't get lazy. And we'll just get maybe one more right there. Look good? Okay, now we're going to clean out the stamp. This stamp does take a little bit to get it clean because there's just so many fine little details in there. So I'll probably come back with it a little bit later just to really get those details. But for now, I'm just using my chamois. I love my chamois. Okay, put away my black ink. But see how this covered up the window so that I didn't get ink all over the window. That's what this was for. Now, I'm going to take my markers. And one thing I was worried about was this taking forever because there were so many of these to color. But it actually goes pretty quick. So I'm coloring them just like I did the little ones that were on the card. I'm doing the center with the darker brown around the outer edge. And then when I go to do the leaves, I'm just going to kind of scribble a little bit of color on there. Doo-dee-doo-dee-doo. And there is your musical interlude for the week. Okay, now let's take the light one. Same thing as before, color it in and then just kind of pull that color from the edge to get it to blend a little bit. I had every intention of doing like all but one of these ahead of time so that you didn't have to spend all night watching me color. But like I said, this is my busy time at work, and you know what they say, man plans, God laughs. Yeah. Okay. And I am probably a never-ending source of entertainment for God. Okay, so now I'm going to just color in my petals a little bit, just quick. I mean, that's all I'm doing. You can see I'm not taking the time to make it really precise. I'm just throwing some color in there. One thing I was worried about is I thought these craft boxes might really absorb the color with the ink, and the yellow might not show very well, but it actually does pretty well. Okay. Oh, ooh, another musical interlude for you. It's just a musical night. See, you thought it was just a stamping show, but some nights it's a musical. Okay, you guys, I watched the weirdest show. Well, I shouldn't say weird, but a really good show on, I think it was on Netflix, and it was called Family Secrets. And it was like super slow. The whole thing was super duper slow, but I kept watching because I just stream all day while I'm working. So anyway, watched the whole thing. And then it's one of those movies that literally the end of the movie, the very end of the movie, just like it all comes together, and it's a phenomenal ending. And you'll either love it or hate it. But I'm dying for somebody to watch this so that I can talk about it. So somebody out there, needs to do me a solid and watch this show, Family Secrets on Netflix. I think it was Netflix. Might have been Prime, but I think it was Netflix. But yeah, I need somebody to watch it so that I can talk about it. Please. And I can't even, it's funny, I can't even really tell you what it's about because it kind of evolves the entire time. And so, that's what watching it. That's what watching it is about, is watching things unfold and evolve. So I can't even really tell you anything. Okay, so there we go. See how that color really does, even once it's absorbed, it stands out pretty darn well. Now here's how we put the box together. Oh good, Susan says she'll check it out. Okay, I'm dying to hear what you think. Okay, so the first thing I do is I go through and I fold it on all of the scored lines. It comes, and by the way, the little adhesive stickers you see on here, it came with those on there. I did not put those on. So I'm just folding really quick, and then I'm going to go over it with the bone folder too, just to make sure that all my creases are just nice and sharp. Okay. And it only takes a minute to do this. Oh, another musical interlude. Next thing you know, I'll be doing dance numbers. Okay, so here's all our pieces, okay? This is the top, obviously. This is the bottom. Now, this middle piece here is going to go with the bottom. I'm lying. It goes with the top, okay? So make sure that you do that. You put it with the top, because if you don't, oops, I forgot to score this piece, I think. Or score that fold. Okay, if you don't put this middle flap with the top, what will happen is when your box is closed, this outer corner will kind of stick out. And it's not horrible. It doesn't ruin it, but it just looks a little bit better if you do it. You do it the way I told you to do it, like I used to tell my children. So I just took off the adhesive pieces, and then you just fold these together, just like this. Line them up, squeeze them together. And again, take off the back. Whoop, I said take off the back. And again, just fold it together. Fold it together. Keep it together, Heather. Keep it together. Okay, now we're going to do the bottom piece. Same thing. Whoops, I may have to use a little extra adhesive there because of where it just tore, but see, it comes together really easy. Stampin' Up! Has done all the work for us. Make sure and see, now we'll be able to close the box. You kind of got to maneuver it a little bit here, especially the first few times, but see, there you go, there's your box. And see how this corner sticks down nice? If you hadn't done that middle tab with the top piece, this would kind of flick out a little bit, and it's just annoying. Okay, so now what we're going to do is we are going to take a little bit of tissue paper, and this is actually, just to give you an idea of size, if you get, like, I just buy my tissue paper at the dollar store, and it was 1/3 of the sheet. It was where the fold line already was. So I put it in there. Then I'm going to take 5 of my cards. I'm taking the birthday card and the birthday errand envelope out. I've got the 5 cards and 5 envelopes. I'm going to just put them in there like that. Fold my tissue paper over. Close the box.
those little edges on the back side wanted to stick out, but I'm not going to let them. Okay, so now you have that. Now we have our ribbon. And this is our, it's like faux suede or something like that. It's really soft. I like the feel of it. And we're going to tie a little bow. Maybe. This piece is trying to be a booger. We're not going to let it. No boogers. Could it be that my bow turned out on the first try? Oh, look at that, you guys. So amazing. And then you've got your birthday card, right? And you sign it and all that and put who it's for. Then you've got a couple of options. You could slide it right there. Ta-da! Or if you wanted that window to still show, slide it in on the back. So now the birthday card to the recipient matches the gift itself. Isn't that fun, you guys? And you saw how quick and easy it was to do. And you can do so many different things with these boxes. You really can. There's a lot you can do. Last year, I was in a class where we made a project where we cut the box in half on the front and made a little pocket that you could put your silverware and stuff in for Thanksgiving. Put everybody's silverware in there and then set this on their plate. It was really cool. So Talina's used this set or this box as a gift box too. And Susan says, what a special gift. You're right, because it's something you handmade, but it's also something that can be useful to them. Another fun idea that I have seen is when a child has a birthday party, make a set like this for mom, only they can be like childlike cards. So they're thank you cards for the birthday child to give away. And mom needs the cards. Mom will probably use them depending on the age of the kid, but give them to the birthday kid. So now the birthday kid has thank you cards to send out, as well as a reminder to send thank you cards. Because sometimes, let's face it, our kids need that, right? So let me put some stuff away here. We'll take a sneak peek back at everything we made tonight. Okay. I guess it's not a sneak peek after the fact, is it? Okay, so we have our little gift set that we made with all of our little cards. Should I take it out so that we can look at them and ooh and ah over them again? I think we should. So we've got our gift box as well as our cards, all of our cards. Like that. And then we have our fun little thanks card that we made where we let the DSP do all the work for us. And we had a pretty productive evening tonight, didn't we? We got a lot done. So I hope you enjoyed what you saw tonight. If you could give me some likes, some thumbs up, boy, that just makes me so happy. And it makes the YouTube and Facebook people happy. Well, it makes their algorithms happy, and then they're more inclined to share my video with people. Speaking of sharing, if you would share this video, that helps me a lot too. You never know who in your feed might be interested in watching it. If you would like to take advantage of any of the specials that we have going on, remember every stamp in the annual catalog is 15% off tomorrow. I'd love to earn your business. You can shop at my website at heathersides.stampinup.net. If your order is under $150, please use this host code. This is what helps me to be able to continue to provide these videos and the prizes for free. If your order is over $150, don't use the code because you all have some free stuff coming to you. And I want to make sure that you get those rewards. If you have any questions, comments, suggestions, ideas, I'd love to hear from you at stamphappenings@gmail.com or here on Facebook. You can message me. I hope you guys had a great time tonight, and I'm looking forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday, 6 p.m. Pacific time. Have a good week, everybody.